announcement. Adequate public notice of this meeting was provided by the Secretary of the Board on May 6, 2017 to the Local District and the Clerk of the City of New Brunswick. The time and location of this meeting and all meetings of this body are posted in City Hall, 78 Byard Street in New Brunswick. Roll call, Mr. Jim.
Mr. Hush. Here. Mrs. Sadowski.
Here.
Mrs. Seawood. Mrs. Shukaitis. Mrs. Solis.
Here.
Mr. Spencer. Ms. Varela. Ms. Ortiz.
Here.
Dr. Caldwell.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I'm pleased to announce we have a full board for the first time in a little while. Oh, she knows. She's coming, right?
Amen.
Well, we have a full collective board. All right, Dr. Johnson, you lead the flag salute.
Ready, salute? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 3, the announcement of the special runoff election results. Mr. General.
Thank you, Dr. Caldwell. As you know, on June 20th, 2007, we had a special election runoff between Mrs. Emma Seawood, Mrs. Yesenia Medina Hernandez, and the final vote count was 274 votes for Mrs. Seawood and 207 votes for Mrs. Hernandez. So, Mrs. Seawood, you have been sworn in, and the official results, you are the winner of the runoff election and have filled a vacant seat. So, congratulations.
Congratulations. Would you like to share any words? None at this time. Well, we're happy to have you back, and we missed you while you were gone, so thank you very much. Do I hear a motion to accept the minutes of June 1st and June 13th? So moved. Second. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Hush.
Yes.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood. Ms. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela.
Yes.
Ms. Ortiz.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Wonderful. Item number 5, we have public comments. Are there any comments from the public?
Yes, please.
Okay, hearing none. We got a 30-second rule.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Charles Cradaville. I'm from New Brunswick. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, community newspaper here. Wanted to ask about a few items. I see, first of all, in the finance report, I see a payment to Patterson Public Schools. Can you explain the nature of this relationship? So, page 14.
1 minute. That is a tuition student that goes to Patterson.
Okay, it's just for one single student.
It says tuitions. I can't tell you exactly how many kids it's for. So,
Okay. Can you tell me how long the board or the school districts had that relationship, had that?
no, I don't know it off the top of my head in terms of how. Kathy can? Yeah, Ms. Smith can answer the question.
Thanks.
Good evening. It is a classified student who's placed in a facility in Patterson by the state.
Okay, and this was recent?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. On your resolutions, I see Resolution I is a contract professional services from Success Communication Group. I've addressed you before about this vendor. Can you tell me if there's a representative of the vendor here tonight?
You said number I?
Yes.
Mr. General, do you see the representative here? No.
Okay, I would suggest that, respectfully, that the board is wasting this $36,000 on Success Communication Group. am the editor of the newspaper that covers New Brunswick, and we don't really have any type of interaction with Success Communications or Success Communications Group. I believe they're based in Bergen County. I think you would be better off hiring someone to actually work as an employee and have that person be a local person who actually knows some of the people around here and maybe has a good reputation, as opposed to this, corporate, out-of-touch group that I don't think is serving the purpose that you hope it's serving. And I'm telling you, as the person who's on the other end of dealing with the press side of things, I don't think they're doing a good job, and I don't think the contract should be renewed.
We'll take that under advisement.
Thank you. On letter N, can you tell me about this contract to appeal the charter school expansion? Is there a not to exceed amount for that, for Bush Law Group?
This resolution that you see is a revised resolution of the same resolution that we hired that had not to exceed to hire David Rubin. Really, this is to clarify that any payments go to the firm that he works for, Bush Law Group, not actually in David Rubin's name. So we have to have a resolution that approves Bush Law Group as well as David Rubin.
Jay, what was that about, the not to exceed?
That was the appeal of the charter school grant by the state of New Jersey that our board felt was inappropriate, granting of an additional charter school. So it's an appeal, the Commissioner of Education approved it, so it's an appeal, it's a specialized appeal. That's why we retained David Rubin, but it's being heard in the appellate division. And I'm advised by counsel, because I asked about a status on it, that it takes about a year for that to be heard in the appellate division. So that's where that is, and that's what that is.
Gotcha. Is that the Elainthus?
Excuse me?
Elainthus is the name of the charter school, is that correct?
Well, it's David Rubin's who we retained. He's working in conjunction with the Bush Law Group. It's going to save us money because Bush Law Group represents North Brunswick, Rubin represents Highland Park and New Brunswick, but they're working in tandem. But there would only be one fee. It'd be divided between 3 towns.
Gotcha. Is there an amount?
There is no not to exceed amount. No.
Gotcha. Thank you. So it's an unlimited contract.
Well, it'll be limited, trust me.
Okay. Can you tell me about the cybersecurity assessment, Resolution P? What prompted the district to hire this firm?
Mr. General?
And we normally review procedures and regulations, and the technology team and myself, we feel it was a good idea. We went out and got 3 proposals, and we feel it's a good idea to have an outside firm come in and give us an assessment of our network in terms of being very prepared for cybersecurity. We get folks that try to attack our network at many different times, and we want to make sure that we're fully prepared. And you see all the cybersecurity out there in the world, and we want to make sure that no one can hack into our network. So we'll have a third company come in, tell us what we need to do, if we need to do anything, and go from there.
Thank you very much for the thorough answer. On Resolution Q, the very next one, I just want to understand about the district's fleet of vehicles, some of the policies that you might or might not have. Do you check somebody's driving record before they're allowed to drive a district-owned vehicle?
I believe we do. I think we have to by law. Yeah.
And who does that?
Every driver has to have a valid New Jersey driver's license and, valid while they're underneath our insurance. So yes, we check their driving records. Anyone who's a driver that is a bus driver, every year we check their abstracts and see any accidents and see exactly what their record has been in the last 12 months in order to authorize them to continue to drive students.
Thank you. And just one more question on that. Are the district's vehicles all marked in some way, or do you have unmarked district vehicles?
What do you mean by marked?
Like, do they say New Brunswick Board of Education, or have some, NBPS or something?
Not every district vehicle says NBPS, no.
Okay. I respectfully suggest that there's no reason not to, and it's probably best practice to have all the vehicles be marked. And the last one I want to ask about is the last resolution, Can you tell me about what prompted you to, I guess, create these new jobs? Are they new job description, new jobs you're hiring people for?
Mike Johnson.
These are two new positions that we have replaced. Actually, we've absolved two other positions, and these are taking their place. So the Director of Special Education position and support services exists to make sure that all of our students throughout the district get the support that they need in terms of special needs. The Innovation Officer is there to oversee our work with technology integration, becoming a future-ready school district, and ensuring that we are integrating not only technology, but 21st century skills throughout the district, that our teachers are getting the support that they need to do such, as well as the administrators throughout the district.
Great, thank you. Can you tell me if you've hired people for these positions yet, or if you're in the process of?
No, we haven't. They haven't even been posted yet because the board has to first approve them.
Understood. And can you just tell me where those will be posted?
Yes, they're going to be posted on our district's website.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You as well.
Charlie, thank you for the questions. We were a little lenient with time tonight, but we're going to probably have a clock, and as it gets in the school year, for interest of time, we probably will enforce them. So thank you for many of your questions. Item number 6, the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Not just that. There's just one amendment on H, that it would not be for 1 year, but 90 days. So when you move the consent agenda, H is amended to 90 days.
Thank you.
I make a motion we accept with change to 90 days.
Wonderful. Is there a second? Roll call, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hush.
Yes.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood. Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer. Ms. Varela. Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Item number 7, the Finance Committee report. Mrs. Patricia Sadowski.
Thank you, Dr. Caldwell. The Finance Committee has met, and I need a motion to accept the Finance Committee report.
Is there a second? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Hush.
Yes.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood.
Yes.
Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes. Staying on 13. No.
Ms.
No.
This- okay.
Noted. Mrs. Seawood is staying on 13 also. Ms. Varela
Yes.
and Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, item number 8, I'll read the resolution for closed session.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Dr. Caldwell. I'd be remiss, there was one thing that I do need to mention to the board and the public. In the resolutions on the consent agenda, the first resolution is where we have approved the 2016-17 CUSAC placement results. And I'm proud to announce the results of CUSAC. We passed in 4 out of the 5 areas. The one area we did not pass was instruction at 62% due to certain parts of the testing. But we got 100% in fiscal management, 100% in governance, 100% in operations, and 80% personnel. But that was one item that wasn't done that knocked it down 20 points, correct? I know Mark was not, right? So I just wanted to announce those results to the public and the board.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. General. Okay, now I'll read the resolution for closed session. Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6, provides that certain matters of the public body may be discussed in closed session, and whereas the Board of Education intends to discuss matters as follows: personnel matters, matters of attorney-client privilege. Now therefore be it resolved that the aforesaid subjects shall be discussed in closed session by this Board of Education and administrative staff, and the minutes of said closed session discussion will be made available to the public when the reason for the non-disclosure in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act no longer exists. Is there a motion? Second? Okay, Rich?
Mr. Hush. Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood. Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer. Ms. Varela.
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
We are in closed session.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Back as soon as possible.